Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I know if you're watching this live, this is a weird hour of the night for us to be talking, but I figured that there might be some night owls up late with me tonight. If you're not up late, you can watch this tomorrow. What I want to do is I want to kind of go through a quick little financial conversation. This is for the Black Financial Channel. If you aren't watching this on the Black Financial Channel, just know that if you want to talk about financial topics all day, every day from a black perspective, you should subscribe to theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. How you doing, Brian Anderson? Good to see you. All right, so as you come in, say hello. Feel free to shout out your city also. And I'm going to take my time, or better yet, I'm going to save your time by patiently moving forward and getting us through this conversation. Okay, so I want to talk to you about investing for a minute. A lot of you are stock investors. Say something in the chat if you are an investor. Are you, yes or no? Yes or no? Are you invested in the stock market? If you're not invested yet, I encourage you to do that. That's one of the most important pillars of wealth. If you want your family to get ahead, if you want your family to win, you want to be an investor. Do not put yourself in a position where you're trying to make money the hard way. Making money by just working and not investing in anything, it's almost like trying to win a NASCAR race when you won't even get in the car. If you don't have a car, it's very hard for you to beat somebody that's in a car. So it's very important. So make sure you get invested if you haven't started on that. We have a lot of programs in the Black Business School that can help you. Feel free to talk to one of our enrollment specialists right now. If you go to theblackbusinessschool.com, they can talk to you right now. Okay, so Richard Malvo says yes. Canadian, I see no. Richard Malvo's out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Good to see you. Antonio from Cincinnati. Good to see you. All right, he invests. Very good. Adventure Man. I'm invested myself. Good. I'm not invested. We're looking for investors, says the Bridge Effect. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we're right now in the Black Business School, we're actually putting together programs to bring together investment clubs and investment groups. I'll make a major announcement to you guys by the start of the year, I believe, is when we'll be able to make the announcement about ways that we're going to actually utilize the Black Business School platform. We have almost 100,000 students in the Black Business School now, and we want to encourage people to come together and to build wealth as groups, because that's how you build wealth. You build wealth as a group, and you form investment clubs. And what happens is when you start saving your money as a collective, good business deals start coming to you because you are a person who has capital. You're a team that has capital. And when you have capital, then people that have labor and skill will come to you and say, hey, invest in me. I'll give you 20%. Invest in me. I'll give you 30%. That kind of thing. So it's a great way to make money. It's a great way to get ahead. It's really a nice formula. And why do I say this so confidently? Well, because you guys know I've been a college professor for 25 years, and I have a PhD in finance, which means I know finance at a very high level. And I'm telling you guys, this is how wealthy people do it. So let me read some of this. This is about a company that I would not invest in. This company called WeWork. WeWork is a great company in terms of, what I like. As a customer, I'd be happy to be a customer of WeWork, but I wouldn't want to be an investor in WeWork. WeWork right now, I don't know if you've heard of WeWork. Give me a yes or no if you know about WeWork. But WeWork is basically a company that does co-working spaces. My brother, in fact, called me today, and I said, where are you at? And he said, oh, I stopped by WeWork. And he's actually in Colombia. And he has a subscription where he can go in there and he can work and get a little office space and get things done. And so in that regard, it's not bad. But the problem with WeWork is it's a company that burns through an insane amount of cash. In fact, I remember reading a story that said WeWork lose $250,000 a day or something. Or sorry, scratch that, per hour, not per day, per hour. So I don't understand how a company can lose $250,000 an hour and stay in business very long. Well, this is catching up with them right now. WeWork is pretty much floated the way a lot of Silicon Valley businesses are floated, which is they just get an insane amount of money invested where they can just throw money away. And black businesses don't have that privilege. This is why when people ask me about public policy and what kind of reparations package I'd like to see, I always say, make it rain on our businesses the way you make it rain on white businesses. The way, Silicon Valley people can go there and have a mediocre idea with no proof of concept and get $10 million. I know black-owned businesses that have excellent concepts that have actually shown that they can make money and shown that they can be 100% profitable, and you're not funding any of that, right? So ultimately, it's the ability to have excess funding that allows you to go out and make mistakes and have a wide margin of error. Well, WeWork is an example of when that sort of financial gluttony goes wrong. Basically, WeWork, right now, I'm going to read some of this to you and then I'll kind of interpret this for you. JP Morgan Chase was supposed to lead the IPO for WeWork. Now the two firms, SoftBank, who is WeWork's biggest outside shareholder, and JP Morgan Chase are trying to pull together a financing package to save the office sharing company, according to people familiar with the matter. Without additional funding, WeWork is poised to run out of cash by mid-November. Now, at the time of this recording, it's October 16th, so we're mid-October. They're expected, this company, this supposed high-flying company that's about to go public and be worth, was supposed to be worth $45 billion. They can't even survive another month without a significant amount of bailout money. Like, they're bailing them out the way the federal government had to bail out the economy and bail out the big banks during the 2007 market crash. The reason this is happening is because you've given this company so much leverage that they're just going out here and trying to gobble up the whole universe. And they're like, oh, well, we'll make a profit later. We'll figure it out later on. We don't have to worry about making a profit now. Well, maybe you don't have to make a profit, but you at least got to find a pathway to breaking even within a reasonable time horizon. I think that some of these models, it's almost like they say you take 2 steps backward to take 3 steps forward. It's almost like taking 3,000 steps backward, and then believing that over the next 5 years you'll take 3,300 steps forward to make up for all the steps backward that you took. The leverage is kind of ridiculous. And what it comes down to is what I consider to be a poor manifestation of capitalist greed that says that we're going to dump all this capital into accumulating an insane amount of market share. We have to be number one. We have to be the biggest, and you get companies like Uber. Uber is another example that lose insane amounts of money because they're like, oh, we'll make our money back later. We're going to acquire all the customers everywhere and become the biggest thing moving, and then we'll figure out how to become efficient and profitable eventually. Well, Wall Street is kind of starting to figure out that this model doesn't work. And what this does actually in finance, we used to have something called the free cash flow theory. And the free cash flow theory, one of the manifestations of it, I'm not an expert on it, but I do remember studying it a little bit, is that when you allow a company's managers to have that much free cash flow, that much cash to just do whatever they want, they start to invest insanely in all kinds of things. They tend to just throw money out there and make it rain. They don't just make crazy investments, but they also take the money and buy private jets and live this extravagant lifestyle. And that's why you have a lot of young CEOs like Adam Neumann. I think his first name's Adam. Adam Neumann is the CEO of WeWork, and he's kind of this eccentric guy that does whatever he wants. Well, he's going to be a billionaire. Once the IPO goes off, he'll be either a billionaire or very close to it. And I think that for him, he's kind of like, well, if the company makes money, great. If they don't make money, great. But I'll be a billionaire. Either way, I'm going to live well because I've had this massive Death Star of a company funded. And I know that I'm going to get my cut no matter what, right? And so one of the things that WeWork had to do is they were forced by the market to push Neumann out. They said the market was like, no, we're not here to just throw money away. A lot of the backing of WeWork was from a company called SoftBank, run by a visionary named Masayoshi Son, who basically had $100 billion to go invest in all these companies everywhere. And I think he's doing it very poorly. I think that he's actually wasting a lot of resources. And I wish I had 1/1000th of the capital that he had. I could literally transform the entire black community if he gave me 1/1000th of the money that he had. So it's kind of ridiculous. You get these Asian bankers and white bankers that just have ridiculous amounts of money that they waste on these projects that don't go anywhere. And then I see my own community where I see see multi-million dollar business ideas that can't get funded because they need $10,000 to get off the ground. So what I want to do, with our vision in the Black Business School, is we want to bring people together, form more investment clubs. We already created the Black London Asset Acquisition Council, which is an investment group we created in London, where you have members in Black London that are actually building wealth and actually buying property now and making investments together as a group. And we did that as a template for what we want to do all around the United States. We want to have groups like that in Philadelphia, in Chicago, in New York, in Los Angeles, in Houston, and basically create these pockets of capital so that those who have good ideas can get those ideas funded. So I had a big meeting today with some people that are going to help us develop the technological infrastructure to allow this to happen, where you can form the LLCs and create a system that has transparency, which breeds trust. You need trust to build a system and to build an economy. And so the challenge for the Black community is that because many of us are coming from this sort of very tortured, very traumatized, background, where we have, people in our own community that we can't trust, or we're worried that so-and-so is going to take our money, or that, so-and-so isn't going to do what they're supposed to do. This system, I believe, will allow us to have the transparency that will breed the trust necessary to form the accumulation of massive amounts of capital that will allow for investment clubs where individuals can go into their hoods and find those old abandoned buildings and say, oh, okay, my club, we've raised, we pulled together $100,000. We're going to go put some money down on that building, and we're going to leverage our way into having the assets that we deserve to have in order to control our community. Now what I see here is I see Troll saying, stop playing the victim card. Okay, I'm going to get you up out of here because you don't need to be on our channel. Okay, so anyway, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button. Also, please hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. I'm going to read a little bit more about WeWork and kind of explain to you why I'm not planning on investing in the company in its current form. The headlines are getting pretty bad for WeWork. I don't see how they're going to go public anytime soon and not be body slammed by the market. The market's already punishing companies that it's already punishing companies that that are out here doing stupid things. It's already punishing companies that are sort of burning through cash and like there's no tomorrow. They punished Uber big time. Uber is a great company, but it's not a profitable company. It's in the market, pretty much hit the stock price pretty hard. Somebody asked me, what do I think about Tesla? I own shares of Tesla. I have options in Tesla, but at the same time, I am not a person who believes automatically that Tesla is going to be the best investment in my portfolio. I own Tesla because I like Elon Musk. I like Elon Musk because I like his what's the word? I like his seemingly almost naive vision of naively optimistic vision of what the world can become if our billionaires jump out there and really start trying to do amazing things and take risks and dream the impossible dream. So I love the way Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos talk about going into space and building, building. I heard Jeff Bezos give the best presentation ever. Alicia and I, I'm marrying another PhD, so which makes for interesting conversations when we go running. And we were listening to a TED Talk by Jeff Bezos where he was breaking down like all different kinds of visions in terms of what we could do in outer space. Like one thing that he said is that we don't have to go live on another planet. We can build a planet. And I was like, build a planet? Wait a minute, what? And basically it was, he said we can actually build like something like a space structure that's like 1,000 times bigger than the space station or the International Space Station, and we can actually create artificially controlled climates and environments. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. But now this is a 200-year vision, though. It wasn't something that we have the infrastructure for now. But what he was saying is that in this generation, we can lay out the infrastructure so the next generation can build on top of that. So the example he gave was, he said, I was able to start Amazon because the infrastructure was there. Highways had been built, railways had been built, the U.S. Postal Service had been built. So I was able to build on top of that infrastructure. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I actually really liked that. So I really like Tesla for that reason. That's why I'm going to buy a Tesla. So one of the things I want to make 100% clear is that even though I tell you guys about money and about investing, I don't want you guys to think that money is the most important thing in the world. At least that's not my philosophy. I think money is a pathway and a tool for the betterment of your life and the lives of the people you care about. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell also. In fact, hit the, on the count of 3, everybody hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and just type Black Power in the chat to let me do it. Let me know you did it. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we go live. The notification bell is very important. Just type Black Power in the chat to let me know that you've done that. Okay, so I'll give you guys a second. All right, so I see the blood of Ogun. Okay, cool. I see Black Power from you. All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, good. All right, D-Love and Sharon, welcome to the tribe. Welcome, Sophisticated Discussion. Canadian, good to see you as well. Eric Bird, all right, very cool, very cool. Now, I push you guys to do that because we're building media here. We're building, we're analyzing data, keeping numbers, trying to see how many people we can reach, because we want to reach people with Black intelligence and Black economic thinking, because that's going to be one of the keys to our liberation. And also, I want to give a shout out to Charlemagne the God at the Breakfast Club. He invited me to come on the Breakfast Club right before our seminar in New York. So I should be on there, I think the 23rd or 24th. And so if you want to check that out, feel free. I'll keep you guys posted on that. And I think that's great because I like the idea of Black intelligence sort of being pushed to the masses, because I think that when our people are given a choice, they choose intelligence. When they're given a choice, they choose power. You know, when they're given a choice, we choose strength. And so I'm happy that we have people in the mainstream that actually get it. So, and actually we'll be in New York October 27th. If you want to come to the investment seminar, you can go to drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. So they said, without additional funding, WeWork is poised to run out of cash by mid-November. The source said that he's asked not to be named because the discussions are confidential. SoftBank and JP Morgan have been seeking an emergency solution in the 2+ weeks since WeWork withdrew its IPO filing, with one option involving equity from SoftBank and debt from JP Morgan. So basically they were going to go to the public markets and get all the money they needed. But when they realized that the public wasn't going to give them all that money, people aren't trying to throw their money away, they started making adjustments to prepare the company for the market. But in the meantime, they're going to have to go ahead and invest a ton of their own money. So SoftBank's going to have to come in with money, but SoftBank's going to want more equity, and JP Morgan is the option in terms of getting debt, which is actually very cheap right now. In its current effort to seek emergency financing, JP Morgan is talking to 100 investors who signed non-disclosure agreements to potentially participate. Bloomberg reported on Monday that WeWork was leaning toward an almost $5 billion financing package led by JP Morgan rather than selling a controlling stake to SoftBank, which has already plunged over $10 billion into the business. JP Morgan is the third biggest outside shareholder behind SoftBank and Benchmark. It's been a dramatic reversal of fortune for WeWork, which was until recently one of tech's highest flying private companies. SoftBank's latest funding earlier this year valued the company at $47 billion and set it up for what was supposed to be a blockbuster IPO. But public investors proved unwilling to comply, punishing cash-burning companies like Lyft and Uber after their share sales in the months leading up to WeWork's filing. So basically the market's getting tired of the crap. The market is basically saying, come on, man, like you're wasting money, you're losing money like crazy, and we're supposed to sort of give you our investment on faith in the hopes that one day you'll figure out how to become profitable. That isn't a good business model, and I agree. I've always been a critic of this model, and I think you should be too. Also, a lot of you have businesses of your own. How many of you either have a business or plan on starting your own business? If you have a business or plan on starting your own business, just type, business owner in the chat or something like that. Even if you're not a business owner, if you plan on being a business owner, type business owner in the chat so we know how many bosses we have in here. Or you can type boss in the chat, either business owner or boss, whichever one you want to be. So here's what I want to tell you. Don't pursue business models just because that's what they're doing in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley, first of all, many of you remember this is the Black Financial Channel. That's a lot of you are watching on the Black Financial Channel. You're not white. You're not white. You don't have the same amount of capital they have. You don't have the same markets in terms of equity markets, the access that they have. You don't have the same access to government funding that they have. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to those things. I'm just saying that that's what it is. And I see a lot of black businesses that can't get off the ground because they think they're white. And they're like, oh, I just need $2.5 million to get started. And I'm like, I don't know where to go to get that for you. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know how to help you with that because the black community doesn't have the same wealth level that the white community has. It's not me dissing what people are doing. I'm not trying to disrespect your goal, your ambition. I hope you get the money. But I see a lot of people with great business ideas they can't get going because they need an insane amount of money to get started. Or a filmmaker who says, oh, I've got this. I remember a filmmaker came to my house to shoot a documentary, and I agreed to be in somebody's documentary. And he said, yeah, I've got this great film idea, Dr. Boyce. And he mentioned it, and it was like, it was okay. It wasn't great. And I said, well, how much money do you need to get started? He said, oh, it's going to cost me $800,000 to shoot it. And I was like, I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know. I can't invest $800,000 in a movie. Like, especially something where I don't know how you're going to make your money back. Like, how are you actually planning to monetize this? And so, because in my space, I know people who operate on the Tyler Perry model. I'm talking about the old Tyler Perry model, meaning, most people I know that make the movies for under $50,000. Boyce Watkins Films, we have not had a film budget for any movie that was over $30,000. And it wasn't because we were trying to be cheap, it was because we were trying to be careful. You have to be prudent, especially if you're not sure how you're going to make your money back, because you don't want to dump everything into something and then not have anything at the end that's going to justify that investment. And because you don't have big banks that are going to save you. And so in the Black Business School, one of the reasons I encourage you guys to go to the Black Business School, check it out, is because we've refined business models to fit the constraints and opportunities that exist within the Black community. So, for example, in business school, if you go to some business school and pay them, $50,000 a year or whatever to teach you, they're going to say little things like, oh, it takes the average business 3 to 5 years to become profitable. That's not true in the Black community. Most people I know who get off the corporate plantation, they don't have 3 to 5 years to become profitable. They have 3 to 5 months. So their time horizon is much, much shorter, which means that you have to take little wins as you go along and build off that. Bootstrapping becomes an art form, a necessary art form for you to survive. If you get out here spending big and spending crazy, you'll be bankrupt, and then there'll be nobody there to bail you out. Right? So companies like WeWork, they can go, JP Morgan, we need $5 billion so we can keep burning through $250,000 an hour, right? And JP Morgan's like, okay, sure, we'll write the check for you. Most people in our community, that's just not your reality. I'm not saying that you don't deserve that. I'm not trying to limit your goals. I'm not trying to cut out any of that. What I'm trying to say is that you have to think about things differently. I know that I did. I know that when we first got started, we had the best ideas. I remember I had a project in place that was already making money. We were putting in 5,000 and making 10,000. And I'm like, this is a no-brainer. We're making 100% return in a 3-month period. Like who wouldn't want to invest in this? And I remember we pitched this to somebody, and all we were trying to get was like another 40,000 to kind of keep things going. And we couldn't even convince them. I was like, I don't understand. Why don't they want to invest in this? I have a PhD in finance. This is an ATM machine. So what we did was, because we couldn't get people to invest the way we wanted them to, maybe they couldn't see the vision. We just found the money however we could, borrowed off the credit card, used personal funds, whatever. And you know what I did? I took 50 grand, turned it into $500,000, because I was like, well, nobody else wants this investment, then I'll just jump in and make it work, right? So ultimately, there are opportunities out there for you. You just have to know how to look for them in the right way to go. Okay, so some of you asked how much the Black Business School costs. To get started, it costs you nothing. Like, that's the beauty of this institution, is that we literally have free memberships, right, to get started. If you're not ready to invest, we want to prove to you that we're going to give you 100 times more than what you put into us before you even get started. Don't give us any money until you're completely convinced and comfortable that we can deliver for you better than whatever university you might have attended, right? So one thing about our model that's different is you can go to theblackbusinessschool.com right now. You can join the club right now. Join the tribe right now, theblackbusinessschool.com. Don't forget the THE. And we will have enrollment specialists that can talk to you right now, and they can get you started. That's the website, Dave. It's theblackbusinessschool.com. And talk to them. We have a Black Business School for Children, which is revolutionary because the children in our programs are going to be a light years ahead of all the adults that they're going to be around. You can ask about that if you have children that you want to put ahead of the curve. We also have major tracks involving entrepreneurship, stock market investing, and real estate investing. We have experts in all those three areas. For example, attorney Nicole Compton tonight, actually, in our entrepreneurship program, is actually going to have a Q&A session for anybody that wants to get their business going and doesn't understand what to do. So she's an attorney and a business startup specialist. She can answer any question you have. She can tell you what paperwork to file. She can tell you what to do next, like how to get your employees, how to handle your payroll, how to set up for your taxes, how to make sure you don't run afoul of the law, like all of this stuff, right? So the people that we bring in are not just experts, but they're also people who have experience. So that's what makes it special. Julian Gordon, our real estate dean, actually he controls about $3.3 million worth of property. We're rental property. And so he has a group, the Black REI group, the Black Real Estate Group, and basically they get together and talk about buying real estate properties. Okay, so these are some of the things we have going on. We have a lot of other initiatives, like we have Boyce Watkins Films, which we've actually made films like Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, because we believe black people should control all forms of media. We believe black people should control movies, television, print media, digital media, all that stuff. So in Boyce Watkins Films, we've made Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, which tells a story about Black Wall Street, directed by Dorian Chandler. We have the Black Love Blueprint, which is all about black love and relationships so that we can actually build families, which is an important part of wealth building. We have Raising a Black Scholar, which is a film we did with Roosevelt Mitchell III about what it takes to actually raise a child to become an extraordinary scholar. In the homeschooling movement, we believe black people should take their kids out of public schools and start putting them into either African-centered schools or schools run by black people, or a school in your home. We actually show you what's necessary to have a school in your house. Okay, and so basically we got all the tools that you need. Just give us a shot. Go take a look and try it out, and I think you're gonna love it. In fact, I know you're gonna love it. And if you don't love it, if you invest in something you're not happy, just let us know. We're always happy to give you your money back and to figure out how to do it better next time so that you'll be happy next time. Okay, so anyway, I gotta go, guys. Let's see here. Today I closed on a new property today, so hooray for me. Woo! We got some rental property in Chicago on the south side, so we're really excited about that. And ran my first marathon, so that's been pretty cool. And also going to Arizona this week, and then of course next week is New York. If you want to come to our investment seminar in New York, go to drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. It's worth flying in. I think you guys are going to love it. So also, if you want to check out our financial workbooks for children, we have workbooks that we created specifically for black children and flashcards that will allow you to have a black business school in your house. So you can go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. So we have a whole infrastructure developed for you, by you. You just gotta go take a look. It's the best thing going. It's really excellent. So when am I coming to Denver? I usually go to Denver to visit. I don't go to Denver and do events anymore. I did an event there about a year and a half ago, but I honestly, all that traveling is kind of wears me out a little bit. Anyway, I will keep you guys posted. Have a good night, and I'm gonna go to bed. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.